Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the explosive tensions and hidden secrets unraveling in Port Charles on Wednesday, October 15th, as arrests, betrayals, and desperate alliances threaten to upend lives forever. In the shadowy undercurrents of Port Charles, Sonny Corinthos finds himself at a crossroads with his ex-wife Carly Spencer. Probing deeper into the mysteries surrounding the recent shooting of Drew Kane, Sonny, ever the strategic kingpin with his piercing gaze and unyielding determination, corners Carly in a dimly lit corner of the Metro Court, his voice laced with urgency as he demands answers about what she knows regarding the attack that left Drew fighting for his life. Carly, her eyes flashing with a mix of defiance and lingering affection, counters with a bold proposition that hangs heavy in the air. If Sonny truly craves the full truth, he must commit to marrying her once more, sealing their fates in a union that could shield them from the legal storm brewing. Though her tone carries a hint of playful sarcasm, drawing on their tumultuous history of on-again, off-again romance, Carly's words mask a calculated strategy rooted in the protections of marital privilege, where spouses cannot be compelled to testify against one another in court. This twist not only reignites old flames, but also weaves in echoes of their past scandals, like the times they've danced on the edge of legality to protect their family, forcing Sonny to weigh the cost of vulnerability against the pursuit of justice for his Elijah. Shifting gears to the more optimistic corners of town, Molly Lansing Davis shares a heartfelt conversation that highlights themes of redemption and romance, focusing on Cody Bell's evolving path toward heroism. As Molly chats with a close confidant over coffee at Kelly's diner, her words brim with admiration for Cody's decision to step up and pursue the woman who's captured his heart, a move that symbolizes his growth from a rough-around-the-edges outsider to a man capable of genuine loyalty. This moment isn't just idle gossip. It foreshadows Cody's upcoming role in a larger narrative of rescue and revelation. As intelligence suggests, he could be the unlikely savior who stumbles upon Ric Lansing in his dire predicament later in the week. Before that climactic discovery, however, viewers can anticipate a tense fake-out rescue sequence that builds suspense, perhaps involving a shadowy figure approaching Ric's holding place only to vanish into the night, leaving him more isolated than ever. Ric, enduring the psychological toll of his captivity in a rundown warehouse on the outskirts of town, escapes into vivid hallucinations where Elizabeth Baldwin emerges as his imagined rescuer, her gentle touch and reassuring smile providing fleeting solace amid the chains and darkness that bind him. These dream sequences delve into Ric's fractured psyche, revealing layers of regret over past betrayals like his schemes against Sonny and unspoken longing for the stability Elizabeth once represented, adding emotional depth to his ordeal and hinting at unresolved tensions that could explode upon his release. Meanwhile, in a rare display of reconciliation, Ava Jerome and Kristina Corinthos Davis navigate their rocky history toward a tentative truce that promises to reshape family dynamics in unexpected ways. The two women, who have clashed repeatedly over shared connections to the Corinthos clan and moral divergences, Ava's glamorous yet ruthless world versus Kristina's principled activism, finally sit down in a neutral spot like the park overlooking the harbor, clearing the air with raw honesty about their mutual grievances. Ava, with her signature poise masking vulnerability, acknowledges the pain she's caused Kristina through her entanglements with Sonny, while Kristina admits her own judgments may have overlooked Ava's fierce protectiveness toward her daughter Avery. This exchange isn't a fairy tale friendship. They're worlds apart from becoming inseparable allies, but their agreement on a fresh start opens doors to collaboration, perhaps in supporting Molly through her legal woes or shielding the family from external threats like the cartel whispers circling Port Charles. Inventing a new layer here, imagine subtle hints of a joint plan forming, where Ava's insider knowledge of high society intrigue complements Kristina's community ties, potentially averting a larger crisis tied to the Lansing family secrets, all while underscoring the soap's timeless theme of forgiveness amid chaos. Drew Kane, the resilient publisher turned political hopeful, takes decisive action from afar, dispatching an urgent SOS to the enigmatic Jens Sidwell in a bid to rally support for freeing Willow Tate from her unjust imprisonment. Holed up in a secure location, perhaps abroad, Drew pores over news clippings and police reports about Willow's arrest on fabricated charges of tampering with evidence at Elizabeth's home, his frustration mounting as he realizes the depth of the conspiracy against her. Turning to Sidwell, a shadowy tycoon with a reputation for bending rules and wielding influence in global circles, Drew pleads for intervention, outlining how Sidwell's resources could dismantle the frame-up through back-channel pressure on key officials. Sidwell, lounging in his opulent office with a smirk that betrays his calculating nature, responds with probing questions about his potential gains, toying with Drew by dangling vague promises while asserting his dominance, maybe even referencing a past favor Drew owes from their immediate dealings. This alliance teeters on a knife's edge, introducing invented elements like Sidwell's hidden agenda involving corporate takeovers that intersect with Port Charles politics, analyzing how Drew's desperation might lead to ethical compromises, ultimately heightening the stakes for Willow's fate and exposing broader corruptions in the justice system. At the bustling Port Charles Police Department, Nina Reeves unleashes her fiery temperament in a frantic bid to connect with Willow, her daughter-in-law. Now that both women find themselves ensnared in the web of arrests tied to the escalating scandals, Nina, pacing the precinct lobby with her designer coat askew and eyes wild with maternal worrying, bangs on the reception desk demanding immediate access to Willow's interrogation room, her voice echoing the anguish of a mother who's already lost so much to misunderstandings and manipulations. A.D. Justine Turner, the sharp-tongued prosecutor with a no-nonsense demeanor honed from years battling Corinthos family lawyers, intervenes coolly, reminding Nina that her own mounting charges for insider trading echoes or whatever fresh accusations pile on should command her full attention, dismissing any notion of special privileges in the cold machinery of justice. This standoff not only spotlights Nina's unyielding loyalty, but also weaves in new details, such as flashbacks to her own past incarcerations that fuel her empathy, providing a detailed examination of how her impulsive nature both empowers and endangers those she loves, setting the stage for potential courtroom fireworks. Deep in the heart of the PCPD's stark interrogation room, Willow Tate unravels in a torrent of emotion, her world crumbling under the weight of betrayal as she confronts the harsh reality of her detention. Surrounded by the metallic clang of handcuffs and the probing stare of Detective Harrison Chase, Willow's voice cracks with raw pain as she cries out, "Why are you doing this to me?" A plea that captures the devastation of a woman who's fought so hard for stability after years of identity crises and health battles. Directing her fury squarely at Michael Corinthos, her devoted husband, Willow pieces together the puzzle, the suspicious evidence unearthed at Elizabeth Baldwin's residence, coupled with Michael's abrupt concession to supervise visitation for their children, screams set up to her trained eye as a nurse attuned to deception. Inventing further intrigue, perhaps Willow recalls hushed arguments with Michael about his Quartermain loyalties clashing with Corinthos' risks, analyzing how this accusation could fracture their marriage irreparably, while hinting at Michael's possible unwitting involvement in a larger plot orchestrated by rivals like Valentin Casadini. Her breakdown not only humanizes the chaos, but delves into themes of trust eroded by Port Charles' endless deceptions, leaving fans breathless for the revelations ahead. Next, we will learn about the intense drama unfolding in Port Charles as Ric Lansing edges closer to freedom from his terrifying captivity. In the heart-pounding spoilers for ABC General Hospital from October 13th through 17, viewers are on the edge of their seats watching Ric Lansing's desperate bid to break free from the clutches of his harrowing hostage ordeal. This gripping storyline takes a dramatic turn, with hints pointing to an unlikely savior in the form of Cody Bell, whose sharp instincts could shatter the fragile web of deception surrounding Ric's disappearance. As the week unfolds, the tension builds layer by layer, revealing how family bonds and unexpected alliances might collide in explosive ways, drawing in familiar faces from Port Charles' tangled history of secrets and betrayals. Ric, once a cunning lawyer entangled in the city's power struggles, now finds himself at the mercy of those closest to him, highlighting the show's timeless theme of trust eroded by hidden agendas. The weekly promo offers a tantalizing glimpse into the chaos, starting with Molly Lansing Davis seated at the cozy counter of Bobby's diner, her voice laced with determination as she confides in an unseen listener about her resolve to track down her missing father. Unbeknownst to Molly, Rick remains trapped in the shadowy confines of Alexis Davis's basement, sedated with potent drugs that cloud his mind and a gag that silences his cries, turning what should be a simple family reunion into a high-stakes thriller. To the outside world, including Molly and her circle, Rick's absence is chalked up to a casual log-out for some well-deserved rest on a gadget-free getaway. Perhaps sipping cocktails under the sun, or unwinding in a quiet retreat far from the courtroom battles he knows so well. This misconception adds a layer of heartbreaking irony, as Molly's innocent assumption paints Rick as voluntarily detached. Oblivious to the real peril he's enduring just miles away in a place tied to his own family tree. Molly's proactive stance in the promo signals the start of her personal investigation, where she'll likely dive into a flurry of calls to upscale resorts and luxurious spas that Rick has favored in the past. Think serene coastal hideaways or exclusive mountain lodges where he's escaped the pressures of Port Charles life before. She might even tap into her network of Rick's old associates, from former legal partners who've shared war stories over late-night drinks to colleagues who recall his penchant for spontaneous solo trips to recharge amid high-profile cases. Imagine Molly pacing her apartment, phone in hand, leaving voicemails laced with concern. "Dad, if you're at that beachfront spot in Malibu again, pick up." Everyone's worried. This expanded search could inadvertently stir ripples across the town, pulling in peripheral characters like TJ, her devoted husband, who offers emotional support while piecing together timelines from Rick's last known whereabouts, or even Kristina, whose own guilt might bubble up if Molly's quest gets too close to home. Yet, while Molly's efforts set the stage, the real breakthrough appears poised to come from an outsider's keen observation, as the promo shifts to Rick's feverish visions that blur the line between hallucination and harsh reality. In a poignant Tuesday, October 15th, scene detailed in the spoilers, Rick's muffled pleas echo Molly, but they manifest in a surreal dream sequence featuring Elizabeth Liz Baldwin, the steadfast nurse whose past with Rick carries echoes of unresolved affection and shared hardships from their days navigating Port Charles medical emergencies and personal scandals. Perhaps in this dream, Liz appears as a beacon of hope, her gentle demeanor urging Rick to fight through the haze. Or maybe a spectral vision of his daughter materializes beside her, tugging at his heartstrings with innocent pleas that mirror Molly's real-world determination. This dream element deepens Rick's character, showcasing his vulnerability beneath the tough exterior he's cultivated through years of legal skirmishes and family feuds, reminding fans of his evolution from a shady manipulator to a father yearning for redemption. The promo then cuts to Cody Bell, the rugged newcomer with a mysterious edge, strolling through an open expanse outside possibly a wooded trail or the outskirts of a suburban neighborhood, leash in hand as his loyal companion. The spirited dog Outback leads the way. Cody's casual outing takes a sharp twist when he stumbles upon an unassuming basement access door half hidden by overgrown shrubs and weathered steps, prompting his startled exclamation, "What the hell, this?" Speculation runs high that faint screams for help pierce the air, drawing Cody's attention like a magnet. His background in high-risk situations, perhaps hinted at through vague references to his rodeo days or shadowy past dealings, equips him to act decisively where others might hesitate. Outback's heightened senses could play a pivotal role here, the dog's ears perking up at the distant cries, whining and pawing at the ground to alert Cody, turning a routine walk into a pulse-racing rescue mission. One intriguing possibility weaves Molly directly into the discovery. What if she and Cody, growing closer amid Port Charles' social whirl, decide on an impromptu visit to Alexis's home for a casual catch-up or to seek clues about Rick's whereabouts? Without back tagging along, The dog might suddenly need a quick relief break, prompting Cody to step outside alone while Molly chats inside, positioning him perfectly to overhear the basement turmoil. This scenario amplifies the drama, as Molly's presence inside could heighten the stakes. Imagine her knocking on doors, asking pointed questions about family sightings, while Cody's exploration outside uncovers the basement's dark secrets step by step, adding invented tension. Perhaps Outback scratches insistently at the door, his barks echoing just loud enough to rouse Ric from his drug stupor, forging an unlikely bond between the animal and the captive in a moment of raw, instinctual connection. Delving deeper, Ric's cries might not stem from a dream at all, but from a spark of awareness piercing the sedation. Suppose Molly's voice drifts faintly through the walls during her visit, igniting Ric's fighter spirit to muster whatever strength remains. Bound and silenced though he is, Ric could thrash against his restraints, creating muffled thuds that travel upward, evading Molly's ears, but catching Cody's vigilant ones just beyond the threshold. This twist humanizes Ric further, portraying him not as a passive victim, but as a man clawing for survival, his mind flashing to pivotal memories like tender father-daughter moments with Molly during her childhood or tense confrontations with Alexis that foreshadowed this betrayal, fueling his resolve. Cody's proximity, amplified by the home's layout with its exposed basement entry, positions him as the catalyst. His decision to investigate potentially altering alliances in ways that ripple through multiple family dynamics. Should Cody succeed in liberating Ric, the aftermath promises seismic shifts in Port Charles society. He'd instantly ascend as Molly's father's greatest ally, earning her undying gratitude and perhaps even sparking a deeper connection between the two as they bond over the relief of reunion. Ric, freed from his nightmare, might view Cody as a debt owed for life, offering legal favors or insider knowledge in return, weaving the newcomer tighter into the Quartermain Lansing web of influence. However, this heroism comes at a steep cost. Cody would rocket to the top of Alexis's hit list, her calculated composure cracking under the threat of exposure, especially as a prominent attorney whose reputation hinges on discretion. Ava Jerome, with her history of ruthless maneuvers in the Jerome crime legacy, would see Cody as a direct obstacle to her carefully laid plans, potentially unleashing a barrage of manipulations or veiled threats to neutralize him. Kristina Corinthos Davis, caught in the crossfire of her mother's schemes, faces her own turmoil. Her involvement in the basement plot, born from a mix of misguided loyalty and personal vendettas, would unravel, forcing her to confront the moral quagmire of betraying family for fleeting gains. The trio Alexis, Ava, and Kristina never envisioned this captivity as a permanent solution. Their scheme, laced with urgency over financial deadlines like a crucial wire transfer or offshore account clearance, was meant as a temporary hold to leverage Ric's assets or silence his prying into their joint ventures. Inventing further layers, perhaps the money in question ties back to a shadowy business deal involving Casa Dini remnants or ELQ corporate espionage, where Ric's knowledge posed an existential threat, making his disappearance a desperate bid for control. But Cody's intervention flips the script, igniting a powder keg before the funds solidify, leading to frantic cover-ups, frantic alibis, and courtroom showdowns that expose long-buried resentments among the women. As the week progresses, these spoilers tease a cascade of emotional confrontations. Molly's joy at finding her father clashing with the sting of betrayal from those she trusted, Ric's recovery revealing physical and psychological scars that test his relationships anew, and Cody navigating his newfound status as both savior and target. Port Charles, ever the stage for operatic twists, amplifies the stakes with side plots. Maybe Liz's dream appearance foreshadows her real involvement in Ric's healing, or Outback's role hints at Cody's softer side amid the town's cynicism. Fans can anticipate heated exchanges at the Metro Court or whispered plots in the park, all culminating in revelations that redefine loyalties and vendettas. This arc not only propels Ric's storyline forward, but underscores General Hospital's mastery in blending suspense with heartfelt family drama. keeping viewers hooked on every whispered secret and daring escape. In wrapping up this week's forecast, the potential for Cody's discovery to upend the status quo reminds us why ABC General Hospital endures its ability to turn ordinary visits into life-altering discoveries, all while exploring the fragile threads of trust in a world of hidden basements and unspoken motives. Stay tuned as these events unfold, bringing fresh layers to beloved characters and setting the stage for even wilder developments ahead.